Ravenswood, a name that once conjured images of cozy hearths and friendly neighbours. Now it evokes a chilling silence, a town holding its breath. It began innocently enough. Children played in the fading light of a summer evening. Fireflies winked, their tiny lights mimicking the stars just beginning to dust the twilight sky. But as dusk deepened, a shadow fell over Ravenswood. Little Timmy, his laughter echoing in the twilight, vanished without a trace. Searches proved futile. Timmy was gone. The townsfolk, once a chorus of warm greetings and friendly gossip, spoke in hushed tones. Fear, like a creeping vine, began to wind its way around their hearts. Days bled into weeks, each one a stark reminder of their loss. The laughter of children, once a symphony of innocence, became a painful echo, a constant reminder of the darkness that had fallen upon Ravenswood. The once vibrant playground stood deserted, the swings swaying rhythmically in the breeze, a silent, eerie dance. The townsfolk, their faces etched with worry and disbelief, whispered prayers that were lost in the wind. Hope, once a beacon in the encroaching darkness, flickered and threatened to die. Ravenswood, once a picture of idyllic small-town life, had become a place of shadows and whispers. And then it happened again. The disappearance of Emily Carter sent a shockwave through Ravenswood. One missing child could be explained away, a tragic accident, a misunderstanding, but two? Fear turned to terror. Parents clutched their children closer, their eyes darting nervously at shadows, their ears straining for any sound that spoke of danger. The disappearances followed a chilling pattern. Each child vanished at twilight. Each time a handmade doll was left behind. Crudely stitched with button eyes and yarn hair, they were more unsettling than endearing. And always pinned to the doll's chest, a note. Playtime is over. The once charming quaintness of Ravenswood transformed into a suffocating dread. The whispers grew louder, swirling around the town like the crows that gathered on the roof of the old abandoned church. Their black eyes seemed to follow your every move, their silence more menacing than any call. The once vibrant town held its breath, paralyzed by an invisible threat. The disappearances became a macabre countdown, each vanished child a tick of the clock towards an unknown doom. The question wasn't if it would happen again, but when, and who would be next. Years passed. The disappearances stopped as suddenly as they began. Life in Ravenswood resumed a semblance of normalcy, but the scars remained. The playground stayed deserted, the swings creaking mournfully in the wind. The missing children were never forgotten, their faces forever etched in the town's collective memory. Then came the discovery. A group of friends, drawn by the town's grim history, stumbled upon a hidden room in the woods, concealed beneath the gnarled roots of an ancient oak. The entrance was almost invisible, masked by years of decay and overgrowth. Inside, the air was stale and cold, thick with the weight of forgotten secrets. Dust-covered toys lay scattered on the floor, a rocking horse frozen mid-gallop, a tea set arranged for an abandoned party, a child's drawing of a family, their smiles grotesquely cheerful in the dim light. The room was a time capsule of lost innocence, a haunting reminder of the children who had vanished.
As we ventured deeper into the room, a chill snaked up our spines, whispering warnings that sent shivers down our backs.
We found the dolls, dozens of them, lined up against the far wall, their button eyes gleaming with an unnatural light. And then we heard it, laughter, childlike and filled with a chilling glee.
Playtimes end when dolls come alive.
The laughter echoed through the room, bouncing off the walls, seeming to come from everywhere and nowhere at once.
The friends exchanged uneasy glances, their hearts pounding in their chests.
The dolls, once inanimate objects, began to move. Their button eyes, once dull and lifeless, now glittered with a malevolent spark. They swayed from side to side, their limbs creaking like rusty hinges.
A low hum filled the air, growing louder with each passing second. It was then that they saw them, the missing children. They emerged from the shadows, their eyes hollow and vacant, their smiles wide and unsettling.
They were dressed in the clothes they were last seen wearing, their faces pale and gaunt, but it was their eyes that held the true horror. They were no longer the eyes of innocent children.
They were cold, empty, filled with an ancient malice that sent shivers down the spines of the teenagers. One of the children rasped, his voice dry and brittle like dead leaves skittering across pavement. S5, playtime. The dolls, now an army of silent menace, closed in, their button eyes burning with an infernal glow. The friends, their blood turning to ice in their veins, knew they had stumbled upon something truly evil. They had become players in a twisted game, a game where the rules were unclear and the stakes were their lives. S5, playtime never ends. Fading screams lost in the game.
Panic seized the friends. The room, once a sanctuary of forgotten memories, was now a prison of terror. They scrambled back, their eyes darting from the advancing dolls to the hollow-eyed children, their minds struggling to comprehend the nightmare unfolding before them.
One of the friends, his voice trembling, cried out. They bolted for the entrance, their escape hampered by the scattered toys and the suffocating darkness. But the dolls were faster. They moved with unnatural speed, their small limbs pumping, their button eyes boring into the fleeing teenagers. The air filled with the sound of panicked breaths, shuffling feet, and the chilling laughter of the children, a chorus of eerie delight at the unfolding chase. S4, run!
One by one, the friends were caught. Their screams, muffled by the thick walls of the hidden room, faded into the silence of the woods.
The dolls, their task complete, retreated back to the shadows, their button eyes dimming, their malevolent glow extinguished. The room fell silent, the only sound the creaking of the ancient oak tree above, its branches swaying in the wind, a silent witness to the horror that had unfolded beneath its roots. The missing children, their faces once again blank and emotionless, vanished back into the shadows, their laughter echoing in the darkness, a chilling reminder that playtime was far from over. Ravenswood's silence, a town holding its breath. Ravenswood remains unchanged, a picturesque facade hiding a heart of darkness. The townsfolk, forever marked by the unexplained disappearances, still speak in hushed tones, their eyes darting nervously at shadows. The playground remains deserted, a testament to the town's unspoken fear. The missing children are gone, their fate a chilling mystery, but some things remain. The dolls. They appear in the dead of night, on doorsteps, in mailboxes, their button eyes staring blankly, a silent, sinister reminder of the town's secret. And the note. Playtime is over, it reads, a chilling message that sends shivers down the spines of those who dare to remember. Ravenswood exists in a perpetual state of unease, trapped between a past it cannot forget and a future it cannot face. Because in the shadows a question lingers, a terrifying whisper that chills the very marrow. What happens when playtime begins again?